And what's next for Raw Farm? I mean, you've got a lot on your plate here. Is it scaling, education, new products, all of the above?
Continue to do well in the market. Continue
Yeah.
to teach other farmers across the United States and the world about how to produce raw milk. We trained 185 farmers in Great Britain in 2018. The Food Safety Agency of Great Britain reached out to the Raw Milk Institute and said, we got a real problem. We're having a major failure rate at the dairy farms in terms of their testing that's going on the raw milk producers. I went there and literally found the problem in 15 minutes. It's interesting. I walked into this dairy. They have a certificate permit to sell raw milk to the public on the farm. And I walked in and I said, okay, where's the raw milk production place? Oh, it's over there. It was the same tank that goes off to be pasteurized. So the truck comes by and picks up milk and takes it off to be pasteurized. They were selling some milk off that tank. That tank had the good, bad, and the ugly of every cow that they had in the herd, and they weren't worried about any cow's health or cleanliness of the udder or whatever. It's all getting just dumped in that tank, and they're selling some off the side. I said, hold the show here, guys. Stop. Stop. Please, you're killing me. Select your 10 best cows, segregate them, bring them in first, milk them into a separate tank or a bucket, bottle that separately, and test it, and you're going to be fine. Because they weren't selling that much raw milk, 20 gallons a day of milk off the side, where they're having hundreds of gallons go off to be pasteurized. When they did that, all the problems came to a screeching halt. So there were commingling milk production practices. That was the problem, based on low milk prices. So you don't spend a lot of money on milking cows cleanly if you're going to get paid dirt for it.
Yeah.
You're going to do it cheap because you're going to lose your butt if you don't, right? But if you're going to sell your milk for 10 times as much value to the public for raw, you have to segregate that milk and make it high quality, including bacterial counts, health of the cow, cleanliness, chilling. Everything has to be separate and different. We train that, keep those principles the same all across the world. Most raw milk dairies are dedicated to raw milk only. There's a couple that I know of that are dedicated to both, but in those we actually have a split operation where you actually split off a few of the cows that you dedicate only for raw, and you milk them first and you separate that milk so it never gets commingled into the system with the rest of the cows. But that's just for a couple of the cows. Most of the raw milk dairies we have are dedicated to being raw milk only, and they're milking between, well, they milk between 2 or 3 cows up to 150 cows. That's our range. And then we're at 1,800 cows with 2 dairies, 900 cows per dairy. But we have an extremely intensive food safety program. And we also pasture our cows here seasonally. We don't do it in the heat of the summer because the cows just, they don't like heat, 110 degrees,
Yeah.
they don't like it at all. But we do pasturing in the spring and fall, and in the summertime, in the evenings and in the mornings, to make sure those conditions are just right, and the vitamin D as well as the good fats that are found in the pasture are into those cows as well. So it's everybody doing a lot of things and building that market over time, educating, and having people that are happy with raw milk and wanting more. And that doesn't mean people in the hospital. That doesn't mean people that think it tastes bad. That means delicious raw milk with healthy, thriving people. And that means high standards, different than the pasteurized milk standards.
Yeah. And these standards, they just make sense. It's the natural way. It's the logical way. It's the way that it was intended. It feels like everyone's happy. The cows are happy. People are happy. That's what it seems we have to go back to. And it is nice to see transparency in this too. I don't think anyone's ever seen how how a cow is treated, to how it's processed, to what goes in a carton and what they're drinking. They just trust in the process somewhat. But unfortunately, that process has led to a lot of sickness, I feel like. And this is the antidote in some ways: more transparency, more clarity, more of a connection to nature. So thank you for all that work.
Well, it's a joy of my life. It really is, because you have a thriving farmer, you have thriving communities. Thriving communities produce happy babies, and happy babies grow up to be thriving people in the future and better citizens. It makes a stronger country. And I'm very proud to say that we are literally a week away from certifying the first raw milk dairy in Lebanon.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, about 60
Amazing.
miles north of Israel, up in about
Huh.
3,500 feet in the Lebanese
Wow.
Swiss Alps there. It's
Yeah.
the Mediterranean Alps, I should say. But he's had a very hard time because he couldn't get TB testing done, and we had to
Hmm.
figure out a way to get TB testing done. But he has his own lab on the farm, and chills his milk rapidly, selling to his local community. And so that's the reach we have. We want to serve all humanity wherever it might be. We're in New Zealand, Australia doing training. We're all over the United States. We've done some work in Mexico, South America, all over Canada, and Great Britain. We have a far reach. And we don't pursue farmers. They pursue us because we don't have time, energy, or money to do so. But when farmers pursue us, the cream rises to the top, and we gather the best to be examples for everyone else to follow. And I think that's really awesome.
Yeah, it's really a testament that this is going worldwide.
It
And
is.
it's a good
It
one.
is.
It's a good showing that things are changing. People are wanting this. People are getting back into it. I think the pendulum's swinging, and I think our health will improve because of that. So thank you again for that. Where can people learn more about Raw Farm, Raw Milk Institute, yourself?
Well, rawmilkinstitute.org is a wonderful place for archives of all the medical benefits of raw milk. It's a nonprofit. It's able to put all the PubMed data up there. It's all there. You can read for a week about all the benefits of bioactives and all these things. We also have a pretty strong Instagram, TikTok, and all that kind of stuff at Facebook at rawmilkinstitute.org. Raw Farm USA, rawfarmusa.com is the largest producer of raw milk in the world here in California. Where there's five other producers of raw milk in California as well, but we're the one that's in the stores. The rest of them are selling farm direct or through some drop points or something like that. You can go there and learn about what we're doing with our branding and the influencers, which have gone crazy, helping us and supporting us, including MMA fighters.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure
UFC.
athletes are jumping on this. I'm
Oh
sure.
yeah, athletes. We have local football teams that are we donate 140 pints or quarts of raw milk to their workouts, and they go nuts. They go home and tell mom and dad the first milk I could ever drink, and they want to buy more. So it's not only marketing, it's also education, and it's also humanity. It's a beautiful thing to do, a volunteer education and to encourage understanding and education. So get to know your local farmer that might be struggling and encourage them to understand more about raw milk. I wouldn't drink his milk until he understands it, but I would encourage local farmers to jump on the bandwagon to serve people, not processors. Because I'll tell you, the processors, they lack the ethical, moral fiber to support farmers. They ignore you when you go bankrupt. When you commit suicide, it was a passing thought. It's not something that was really a tragedy. And dairy farmers have one of the highest suicide rates in America. So farmer to consumer and farmers over pharmacy, that's the way forward. We do need good drugs. We need good surgeons. We need all these things, but it should be the backup plan to prevention so we can be healthy. When we're, in 1962, where 6% of the gross national product was spent on healthcare. Now it's 25%.
Oh, and going up.
That's not going in the right direction. Yeah, there's people getting rich on it, but it's bankrupting our health as Americans. And it's really kind of mirrored in a lot of other first world countries because that model's been propagated internationally. We need to get back to food is medicine. Hippocrates was dead on. Food is medicine. Let food be your medicine, medicine be your food. Do no harm. And all disease begins in the gut. And Casper, it's been awesome meeting with you today. And education is something you and I are, I think, really on board with. So good job.
Oh, 100% I agree with you there. And I'm just psyched that people have more and more access and are being educated by people like yourself. So again, Mark, thank you so much for coming on, sharing your story and your message.